I came from Trinidad, and in high school that was the first time I took a science course, and I just fell in love with the subject, and I had teachers that were so enthusiastic about the subject that made me even more enthusiastic, like Dr. Adan.
Taken it upon herself to recognize that her life is more than just academics. Her life involves a family. Her life involves really wanting to do research and wanting to do a high level of investigations in the biological sciences.
I'm a student and also a mom, and the first 3 months I could not find care for my daughter. Being a parent and a student, it was very difficult, and a wife also. So McNair helped me in terms of taking care of my kids so I could go to class.
What I've noticed is that we both, in a way, became better as the years went by. And in a way, thanks to her and thanks to the opportunity that I've had in the lab, I was able to become a better mentor, and hopefully, and that amelioration in my mentoring skills also most likely influence Akelia to become a better researcher and a better worker in her lab. So I feel that we had this mutual influence on each other's skill, basically, and so that was a positive thing.
McNair to me was a family. I left my family in Michigan and I came to Massachusetts, and they were like my second family and very supportive and encouraging, and they really helped me as a transfer student, and I really appreciate Miss Millie, Stephanie, and Roxanne. After graduation, I plan to start in a post-bac program at Dana-Farber, and later on move on to go to grad school, which I'll be looking forward into doing neuroscience or neurology. Science to me is just exciting.
Ken is, for me, one of the most talented students that I've encountered here at UMB. He studies incredibly well and answers, virtually perfection. He was practically my answer key on my exams. And in the laboratory, he takes the initiative and he works very well independently.
My biggest challenge as a student in the McNair program would have to be juggling the schedule with the extra added workload from my research in the lab, which can be over 10 hours a week at times.
I feel that the undergraduate students, I feel it's a symbiotic, positive relationship where they need a mentor, and I need them too, because I have a lot of information to pass on to these students. I've been working for over 20 years in the field of biomedical sciences and research, and now I have all these bright people to work with, and for me, it just gives me a chance to give back everything I've done.
My mentor has taught me important techniques in the laboratory, from important pipetting techniques, preparing buffering solutions, running experiments, which I do over and over again just to get the practice in.
I see Ken as someone with the potential leadership skills. He's very easygoing, he's very fair, he's already taken on the role to train a lot of the younger students in the lab. I see him as being the director of his own lab, pretty much doing anything he puts his mind to.
I would hope to be doing something that I enjoy, and hopefully making a decent amount of money doing that to support myself and my family.
I met Lily about 3 years ago when I came to UMass Boston, and I came here with a few graduate students, and I asked them to look around in their teaching labs for students who are dedicated and really good in the lab. And actually, through my graduate students, I could recruit Lily to work in my lab. Right now, she's graduating from my lab, which makes me really happy.
My dad wanted me to be a nursing major. He wanted me to be a nurse. And I started doing nursing. Didn't really like it, but I did like the research aspect of it. Then I started doing research in a chemistry lab. And I liked that. I liked the research aspect of it. And then I started taking more science classes, and I realized that I really liked science classes. So it wasn't that I always knew that I was going to be a science major. Once I got into it, once I became a biochemistry major, I really loved everything about not only biology, but also chemistry, which I hated in high school.
She is one particular student who who puts lots of energy into her research, into her studying, so she has a good GPA. She has already 2 papers published, at least in the research in my group.
And without his advising me, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't be here where I was today, but I wouldn't feel as driven if it wasn't for the fact that I had 2 people, Millie and Dr. Torek, pushing me and telling me, you know, grad school's the way. So I really appreciate McNair for that, and I also appreciate Dr. Torek for that. For grad school, I'll be going to Brandeis University, majoring in chemistry. I really do want to do research for the rest of my life. As far as where I'm going to do that, I'm not sure, but I definitely see myself, once I've completed my doctorate, to go and do my postdoctorate and become involved in research of some form, from some way or form.
Everything in what you want to do in this world, if you are determined and if you want to do it, I believe that you can do it. You have to be focused and enduring. McNair is a very, very important program. You don't know until you join it. I've spoken to a lot of black students, young students that are coming, Spanish, irrespective of their background, to join the McNair program, because it doesn't even only help you to stay focused in school, it also helps you to meet other people. You have to share ideas and views with other people from other different ethnic backgrounds.
The McNair program has provided all the resources needed for success, like providing books for students, giving them the opportunity to use like the computer to print out notes. And it's like there's a lot of stuff they've helped us as a student compared to other students that you have to like pay for books. But you go there, you have the books and you read on your own, and it really helps.
Both of these students were in my undergraduate 385 biochemistry lab class, and I have met them, spent time with them extensively, and they showed interest in coming and working in the lab.
When I came to this country in 2003, I was supposed to do an MBA in management and go back to my country, because in my first degree I had a bachelor's in finance. But in 2004, I lost my mom she died of diabetic complications. So that's what made me change to sciences, so that I started investigating on how to use drugs, how to find like the cure for diabetes, or how to find how to get better drugs to how to cure diabetes. So that's what the major reason why I changed to sciences.
These 2 kids are unbelievably nice, very soft-spoken and dedicated kids. They have great passion to advance their career. They are highly dedicated and hardworking, and I love to have them in my group. It's a great pleasure to work with them, and I'm extremely confident they will do very well, and they will go to higher studies, and they will do very well to themselves as well as for the society. And this kind of opportunity which is given by McNair program is extremely commendable, and I'm very proud to be associated with the McNair program for a long time, as well as helping my own students now.
Yeah, after my graduation, I'm thinking of going to a pharmacy school to have my doctor of pharmacy.
A couple of weeks back, I got a letter from Albany College of Pharmacy that I was accepted for the Doctor of Pharmacy program. So I'll be going to the school in September for the program, for the PharmD program.
The McNair program really emphasizes for us to keep our grades up. So that's been not really a challenge, but it's challenged me to do the best that I can, because as a McNair scholar, you need to have at least above a 3.5, and I'm happy to say that in all my years here at UMass, I've been able to keep up over a 3.5.
She's been a very good example of what UMass Boston is all about. One of the reasons I particularly like teaching here is that she came here without an enormous amount of science background and not necessarily knowing a whole lot about the world of research and the world of science and academics. And over the time that she's been here, partly from introduction to me, partly a lot through the McNair program, where she's worked in my lab as well as other labs, she's come to learn about research which was not a part of her world before, and I think she's going to be really quite successful in it.
The McNair program has allowed me to broaden my horizons in a sense, because I was able to work at Massachusetts General Hospital in a research lab, actually doing real research on cancer.
Oftentimes I have undergraduate students and they sort of follow directions, but Lois has gone beyond that to think about clever ways to make sure to do things right and to think about ways to do it more effectively and to be sort of inventive in her project. And she keeps bugging me to tell her how we're going to analyze it and what we're going to do in the end. So she wants to make sure to see through the goal rather than just do the job that she's been asked to do.
The McNair program has helped me to do a lot, actually. It's allowed me to network and to be able to know how to prepare for grad school. And also it's given me job opportunities like Dana-Farber. After I graduate, I'd like to apply to Tufts grad school. I love doing research, so my goal in life is to continue to do research.
I first met Nemisha when she came to me for some advising. She's not a biochem major, a biology major, but we like to think of Nemisha as a biochem major because she's taken so many of our courses. She's also taken a lot of chemistry courses, and Nemisha is a scholar across all disciplines to us. When Nemisha first came to me, she wanted to work off campus in Dr. Miller's laboratory at UMass Worcester, and I agreed to act as the liaison in order to allow her to use her research for credit towards her degree at UMass Boston.
Working with him has definitely reinforced some of my ideas about research. He's showed me what it means to be passionate about your work. He has also reinforced the idea of the down-to-earth attitude which is required in the connection that a mentor and a student makes in order to be successful in science, and to have the same type of attitude towards students who are interested in research and are hardworking and are willing to learn.
Without mentoring in the sciences, one cannot expect students to be trained in any manner, and the proper training of students is very important today in order for producing qualified scientists who know exactly how to approach the questions that are going to dictate how medical science proceeds in the next decades.
As an immigrant to the United States, it's very easy to get lost in a campus like UMass, where thousands of students from every walk of life, and McNair, programs like McNair have provided me with a focus point. They've introduced me to students with similar goals and aspirations to myself and helped me essentially feel a part of a family, a part of a community that raises the bar, tests us as students, and grow accustomed to a school like UMass Boston. Through McNair, I've been able to have an opportunity at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute with a program called the CURE program. In addition to the CURE program, McNair has given me access to resources which will further help me pursue a career in biomedical research. I'm planning to continue research work and then hoping to end up in medicine as well as biomedical research in the future.
One of the great joys I've had in mentoring Robert was the opportunity last spring to take him to a national research conference. And this is funded through McNair.
We went to Indianapolis for like a week. It was an opportunity for me to be able to share, what I've been doing with different undergrad students and with people who are like experts in the field of mass spectrum.
To see Robert experience that for the first time and see it through his eyes as I had experienced it, 15, 16 years ago, that was a lot of fun for me. It really meant a lot to him, and it really left a lasting impression that I think is going to end up impacting Robert in ways that are even difficult to put your finger on right now.
The first professor that I had for chemistry really, made me like chemistry. So I started from there, and I ended up figuring out that chemistry was the right thing for me to do. Being part of the McNair program has been really, really good for us, and one of the reasons that I probably stayed up reading, or I woke up early in the morning to make sure that I finished the homework was because I was a McNair, I had to make sure that I make him proud
With a lot of my students, I think I have to push them to believe that they can obtain a certain standard. And it seems like my McNair students, they come already thinking and believing that they can obtain these standards, and they know what they're capable of. They're just looking for a place to do it. And so I think it's motivation that sort of separates the McNair students.
I want to do more. So I'd say 5 to 10 years from now, I think I must have a PhD. So I feel like it's a must for me to have a PhD.